right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the annual organizational and regular board meeting for the Sequoia Community College District. Today is Monday, December 15th, and there are no items to report from closed session. And I would like to ask everyone to stand and help me do our Pledge of Allegiance. Ready, salute. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, I'd like to turn the microphone, the gavel, over to President Calvin.
Okay. Thank you, President Macarino. I'll lead the initial portion of the annual organizational meeting. We need to elect a slate of officers for the year. I'll lead us through the election of a board president, and then that individual can take us through the rest. Do we have any nominations?
I recommend we keep the officers that are in place now for next year.
Okay. I don't know if we can do that all in one motion, but that would certainly mean that Raymond Macareno has a nomination to be the president. Any other nominations?
Well, if I understand the motion correctly, or I'll second it to be able to get to the discussion part, but my understanding of the motion is that that's for all three positions, is that correct?
Well, that was my suggestion.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't know if it was a motion or not, but I can make it as a motion, but.
If it is a motion, I would second it, but if it's not, I'm not trying to push it. I'm making sure it's done right.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second for keeping the slate as is. Any other nominations for board president, at least? Okay, hearing none, those in favor of electing the slate of officers, which would be Raymond as the board president, John as the vice president, and Trustee Nunez as the board clerk, signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Any abstentions? Okay, motion carries.
All right.
Thank you, Trustee Sherman.
Congratulations,
They're
everyone.
up.
All right.
I'll hand it back over to President Macareno.
Thank you very much.
My work here is done.
All right. Thank you, trustees, for your vote of confidence for allowing me to continue as board president for another year. Thank you. Moving on to item B, authorized signature forms, officers and employees. And I believe we have a list of these are the list of authorized signers. And at this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve these as the authorized signatures on all forms relating to COS.
So moved. Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries. Next, I'd like to review the scheduled regular meetings for 2026. Are there any questions or comments in regards to the schedule? I know that there's been a change for the board retreats. This upcoming year will no longer be in January, but move to March. Actually, there's a decision to be made whether it be March 6th or March 13th.
Yeah, if one of those dates absolutely won't work for one of the trustees, just get back to Kennetha and I. We just knew that trying to do it in January was going to be it was gonna be tight, because I just haven't had an opportunity to work with senior managers on it. And really, there's not a huge rush on the retreat, because what comes out of it is our kind of our board objectives for next year, for the 26-27 year. So we have a little bit of time there. So we figured early March would be the best time before the mad rush of spring starts. And so if the 6th or the 13th will not work, communicate that to Kennetha and I, and we'll firm up a date on that. And then the December, I know we're meeting right now a week ahead of, or actually a week after where we would normally meet. Is that going to meet the TCOE's requirement, or are we gonna have to move? I can't imagine moving it up to Monday the 21st.
I think it'll meet it. I have to look at that.
Okay. If nothing else, if we have to modify December because of the county and state's requirements, we can do that next fall.
Okay, with that information, I would move for approval of the regular meeting schedule for 2026 as presented.
Second.
Just to clarify, is it, thank you, I got a motion from trustee Nunes and a second from trustee Lane. Discussion is, did we decide whether it be the 6th or the 13th?
Be determined.
To be determined, okay. Okay, sounds good. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Moving on to item D, board member committee representatives. As president of the board, I am pleased to present the recommended slate of board member committee representatives for 2026. After careful review of the positions that represent COS on its subcommittees and affiliate organization, I would like to nominate the following trustees to serve as liaisons. These individuals bring the experience, insight, and commitment necessary to strengthen our partnerships and advance the mission of COS. The recommended appointments are as follows. Trustee Lane and Trustee Sherman for Board Budget Subcommittee. Trustee Diaz for the California Community College Trustee Association. Myself, Trustee Macareno for COS Foundation. Trustee Nunes for the COS Agricultural Advisory Committee. And then Trustee Diaz for board representative to vote in the election of county committee members. I'm confident that these trustees will represent COS with professionalism and dedication, and I respectfully submit this slate of boards for the board's consideration and approval.
Did I miss it? Did you say what the foundation wrote?
Myself.
Just, oh, very good, thank you.
Do we need a motion on this?
Yes, sir.
Isn't that the president's prerogative or no? Appointments? In consultation with the board?
Normally, the president makes a recommendation on the slate. I don't know that it hurts to, just to signify with a vote.
Approve the president's recommendation for committee reports.
Second.
Motion by trustee Sherman, and seconded by trustee Lane. Any discussion on the appointments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Okay, next, public comment per board policy 2350. Any person may address the board at this time, either on agenda item or other matters of interest to the public that are within the subject matter jurisdiction of the board. A maximum of 5 minutes is allowed for each speaker, and a maximum of 15 minutes per item unless otherwise extended by the board. At this time, I'd like to welcome anyone who would like to make public comment on items, concerning items on the agenda. Seeing none, I'd like to invite anyone who would like to make public comments concerning items not on the agenda. Okay, moving on. Next item is board and executive staff reports. We did get a note that Ms. Martinez might, thank you, might not be here at this time, so we might come back to her later in the meeting. I'd like to now move on to board member reports. Trustee Sherman.
No report.
Trustee Nunes.
Short report, attended the, what may be my last foundation meeting for a while at least. a couple weeks ago, along with the annual foundation reception. Very nicely attended, I believe, and Tim and his staff did a good job of that. So, thank you for that.
Trustee Lane.
Other than thanking Trustee Nunes for his faithful service to the foundation, I have no further comments.
Trustee Diaz.
No report, thank you.
I did attend the event of ribbon cutting and grand opening for the Training Resource Center. And if I may, I did prepare some words for that event. I think it's appropriate that I'd like to share them because I really want to highlight the staff and everyone that was involved in that event. So there was, on behalf of the Board of Trustees, as we celebrate an important milestone for the College of the Sequoias, today we mark the grand opening of the new COS Training Resource Building, a project shaped by dedication, vision, and the countless hours of hard work. To our administration, faculty, and staff, thank you. This achievement reflects your commitment to strengthening our region through education and workforce development. You have taken an idea and turned it into a space that will directly support the growth of our communities and industries. Your effort has created a place where learning can thrive and where local businesses can gain the skilled workers they need. Over the past month, the building has been transformed to support valuable and forward-thinking training programs. Electricity, automation, robotics, food safety, supervisor academy, Microsoft Excel, AI, and many others will help prepare our workforce for the demands of today and tomorrow. Each program represents the investment of people, families, and the future of the Central Valley. The Training Resource Center has always offered customized workforce training. With this new facility, the center is positioned to reach even more employees and employers. It will raise the skill levels, support innovation, and increase productivity across the region. Today, we celebrate the progress, we celebrate opportunity, and most of all, we celebrate the teamwork that brought the vision to life. On behalf of the board, thank you very much for the commitment to excellence and believing in the mission of the College of Sequoias. Congratulations to the entire COS community. The future is bright, and this new Training Resource Center will play a major role in shaping our local region. And I felt it very important to share that with everyone in attendance. We had a wonderful crowd of representatives from all over the region, employers, individuals from industry, and so it was a great opportunity to celebrate not just COS and our staff, but everyone involved in that activity.
Nice building, right?
Very nice.
Yeah, pretty nice.
Mr. President, what was the date on that? I fully intended to attend that, and obviously it failed to put it on my calendar.
I believe it was last Thursday.
I'll have to apologize to Mr. Zergara for not being there.
Trustee Lang was in attendance as well. And, I believe it was last Thursday, yeah. Okay, moving on. Moving on to foundation report, Mr. Foster.
Good evening, trustees. First, I'd like to thank Trustee Nunes for his loyal service to the COS Foundation Board. Thank you so much, sir. Appreciate that, and welcome, Trustee Macareno. I appreciate you stepping up for that. We'll have a good time.
Yes, I agree. Thank
I
you.
have one announcement I wanted to make, and I'm frankly really excited for 2026. Over the past few years, the COS Foundation has established these 8 endowment funds. So we've talked about those a few times. Those funds include the agriculture, athletics, business, career technical education, fine arts, local heroes, science, and student services funds. We've the board and staff have successfully recruited 32 new volunteers to serve on these various committees. And they have been working over the past few years, some of them a few years, some of them about 4 quarterly meetings. But all of them have already developed a precursory understanding of the various aspects of the college and the needs of those areas, both as departmental needs and the unique needs of the students for those departments. And so we have all these volunteers with all these understanding of needs. What we don't have yet is major gifts into the endowed funds, generating interest to then allow for gifts to the college and to the students to support those needs. So what the COS Foundation Board has done is allocated some existing resources held within the foundation to each of those funds to allow the committees to start actually funding projects over the next 3 years as they come in. We're going to do an initial request for proposal through each fund channel and make some initial funding decisions, but then it's just open application period and an open funding period over the next 3 years. And this is all to support our students, of course, and create those stories that we know exist. If we give these resources in the right way, that will show benefit to our students. And that will, in turn, inspire others to give resources to perpetuate this kind of process that's new to all of us. And so, again, over the next 3 years, we expect hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of projects being submitted and approved for funding and funded over the next few years. And we're going to initiate that at the beginning of this 2026. So it's, we're really looking forward to all of that happening. The only other thing I'd say is, just from a sense of scope, the foundation has been giving $120,000 a year in the foundation project funding process. That is not going to stop. That's going to continue. This is on top of that. The maximum outlay over the course of 3 years is $1.75 million. So it's going to be, like I said, it's going to be a good time.
Questions for Mr. Foster? Very good. Thank you for your report. Next, accreditation report, Dr. Calvin.
Thank you, President Macareno. We've got the accreditation report tonight. Not a lot to report on. We're still in that waiting game. But things must be okay on that front, because I just got an email today requesting that I chair a visit in the spring. So we couldn't be all that bad if they're still asking me to chair some college reviews. But recall that the accreditors were on our campus in September, gave us an excellent exit review, and they take it all into consideration, kind of formalize the report, and our report, along with, 8 or 10 others, are reviewed by the commissioners at their spring meeting in late January. And then they all the commissioners, 20 or so, vote on the recommendation, and we fully expect to get full accreditation. I think it's at this point 8 years. So I'll just acknowledge and congratulate everyone on a job well done. We really shined at that September review, and I think ultimately we'll find out in early February, but I think ultimately the decision will reflect just how well we did back in September. So hold on for that. By the February board meeting, we'll have the final report on that.
Very good. Any questions for Dr. Calvin? Okay, moving on to Superintendent and President's report, Dr. Calvin.
Okay, so I don't have a prepared report other than to kind of acknowledge the elephant or the giraffe in the room, if you will. I've missed a month or so, closer to 6 weeks, and figured I would just acknowledge a few folks, because this has been a scary and humbling experience for me. A lot of people felt like I just went in for a regular routine surgery and I'm just recovering, and that wasn't quite the case. Kind of all fall, I had a swollen knee, and many of you heard me complain about it and so forth. And I just figured it was part of being freakishly tall and old. and I wouldn't even call myself an athlete, maybe just a tall wannabe athlete. But Anyway, I finally, I just kind of put it off. Finally went to the doctor in October, and they drained it and took a sample of it, and oh, that's all right. The following week, in fact, it was kind of adding insult to injury because I got this call from my actual surgeon right after I guess it was game 5 of the World Series. Remember that when the Blue Jays came here and knocked the snot out of the Dodgers in LA. Terrible game for Dodger fans. Just completed. He must have been watching it too, because my phone rings and he says, "Hey, we just got some analysis back on what I took out of your knee." And I was hoping for some good news. He said, "How fast can you meet me at the hospital?" And I said, "Well, 15 minutes." And he said, "Well, get there. I'll call ahead." And so within an hour and a half, I was on the operating table they got a fancy word for it, but essentially it's a washout surgery. It's going in arthroscopically and just washing that whole thing out. And then I stayed in the hospital for about 10 days on heavy antibiotics, and they sent me home with some. And unfortunately, my blood test proved that it was still in my knee. And so a week later, I was back doing the same thing. I got a call at 9 o'clock at night again. I think these guys look at the reports at 9 o'clock. And so the next morning, I went in and had the same surgery and the same 10-day stay in the hospital to get that out. And anyway, after that, I got to go home and do a couple of weeks of antibiotics through an IV. Thank God my wife was there, because I couldn't have figured out that dang machine, but she did. And anyway, I've had about 3 weeks of physical therapy now, just trying to get my leg to bend again. And it's coming along. And I'm not going to be dancing at convocation, but at least I'm going to be at convocation, probably on these things for most of January. But I say all that because I just wanted to, first of all, acknowledge all the great things that have happened in the last 6 weeks. And you guys know me, like, I haven't missed this many events in my 9 or 10 years as the president. Like, we just had this grand opening. We've had multiple grad ceremonies. We've had multiple fundraisers, multiple concerts, both choir and band and dance. We've had theater productions, which I never miss. We've had a bowl game for our football team, lots of athletic events, and I also missed my first board meeting in the last 10 years. It's been really tough, and that's kind of where the humbling part comes in. But the board, as well as senior managers and really everyone here at the college, I tried to keep it on the down low a little bit, but people found out, and they've been so supportive. And I just wanted to thank everyone for covering for me. It means a heck of a lot to me, and we've got a great team here, and nobody ever doubted that, but sometimes they get an opportunity to really prove it, and they did. Who needs me anyway? Because these guys crushed it. So thank you to everybody that's had my back, and I look forward to being back for real. You guys know how much I love walking this campus a couple times a day, and you can't do that on Zoom. And I can't wait to be back and doing that very thing. So thank you for that. Any report?
All right, thank you very much.
Glad you're on your way to recovery, and we look forward to seeing you walking on through campus.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
And again, thank you for all those that stepped up and stepped in and really supported our president while he was out. With that, I actually want to go back to item A from the staff reports, our student trustee report. Ms. Martinez.
Hello. So for the Tulare highlights, we have on November 14th, Tulare Joint Union High School Sophomore Academy students were on the COS Tulare campus for a Be Future Ready event. Students participated in a mock interview where they can practice interview skills while engaging with local industry partners. On December 3rd, COS Tulare held its last student engagement event for the semester, Slay the Stress Away, where students were able to enjoy free cookies, hot chocolate, Scantrons, and games to de-stress away before their final exams. And then our Visalia highlights show our Spooky Harvest event. We saw a great turnout of people going with our costume contest, pumpkin carving. We handed out free hot chocolate covered pretzels, We collected multiple boxes of food donations that were given to the Giant Marketplace. And then we partnered with the Veterans Resource Center. We hosted a veteran celebration on November 10th with many students and community veterans in attendance. We provided free lunch to the veterans, enjoyed the national anthem by a COS quartet, and sat for a solemn reading of the MIA/POW Memorial. We hosted our annual movie night showing The Nightmare Before Christmas and provided hot chocolate, popcorn, and ice cream. We passed out invitations to 4 adjacent elementary schools, and it was fun to see the families that attended. And on Wednesday and Thursday of December 4th and 5th, Student Senate hosted a giant toy drive in partnership with Toys for Tots, where we hosted hot chocolate, DIY cookies, and Christmas card decorating. There was a lot of good food vendors and lots of positive student feedback. Thank you.
Questions for our student trustee? Okay, moving on to report.
Page full, right there. Man.
And thank you for everything you did for the veterans. That was really nice to hear that. It's really nice.
It was really fun.
Moving on to reports, Academic Senate President's Report, Dr. Arzola, do not see him present. Costa President's Report, Ms. Redden.
I don't have a report. I just want to say, good to see you back up there.
Thank
Left on physical therapy.
Thank you.
Next, CSEA President's Report, Ms. Kane. I don't see Ms. Kane. And then COSAFA President's Report, Ms. Alberti. No? Okay. We'll move on to our next item, item 9, information presentation of the 2025 annual report on the COS 2015-2025 master plan and the 2021-2025 strategic plan end of cycle report.
All right, good evening, board members and all attendees. Today we have our 2025 annual report on the master plan. And also we have a bonus report, which happens every 3 or 4 years. That's the planning cycle, end of cycle report. So I just want to kind of give a quick overview of our integrated planning purpose, timeline, and process. Many of you may remember COS 1.0. It was about a decade ago when the district struggled with our planning process. So we had so many numbers of goals and objectives, and I put a question marks in there, just a guessing game, but we had 20 goals and 134 objectives. So that was a lot. And then the district kind of struggled meeting those goals and achieving those objectives. Luckily, district developed COS 2.0. Everything related to COS 2.0 is included in our 3 manuals related to planning. So we have a manual called Integrated Planning Manual. We follow that manual. It tells us everything we need to do. You have seen this many times, presented by President Calvin and others. So we have our mission and a master plan. Our master plan is developed every 10 years. So this is a report on the 2015-25 master plan, which gave us 4 district goals. And we also have strategic plans. They are either 3 years or 4-year plans. So this is the last of the strategic plans under that 10-year plan. So this strategic plan is 4 years. So what's in our strategic plan? Again, so we have 1 mission, 4 goals coming from our master plan, and our strategic plan has 10 objectives. As a lot less than 134 objectives we had, during COS 1.0. And we have 40 action items to achieve those objectives. We also have, in addition to these action items, we have assessment items for each action, so about 10 of them. So just kind of a refresher, what are those goals that we've been operating under? We had 4 goals again. The first one is growth, that focuses on our student enrollment. Second one is student success that focuses on our degrees, certificates, and transfer objectives. The third one is equity that focuses on our students' unique needs. And the fourth one focuses on our continuous improvement efforts and sustainability and effective operational systems. So very quick, our first objective was to increase our FTS 2% from 21 to 25. So what were the objectives? So we had 4 objectives. Very briefly, again, the first one focused on increasing the number of our students earning associate degrees or certificates. Second one is focusing on our transfer outcomes. Third one is focusing on transfer level quantitative reasoning and English completion rates. And the fourth one, focusing on our CTE outcomes. So goal area 3, equity, we had 2 objectives. The first one focused on reducing equity gaps in course success rates across all departments. The second one also focuses on course success rate, but specifically transfer level math and English. So again, the fourth area is sustainability. We had 3 objectives under this one. The first one was effective use of data transparency in decision making. The second one focuses on our communication practices, and the third one focuses on our professional development practices. So again, it's in our integrated planning manual. We have a timeline and process. We followed everything since last March. So in October, we went to DGS, first read and second read, and then in December, this is the final presentation of this report. The report has been posted on the website. It's a very comprehensive report, over 150 pages. That means a lot of work went into this report by a lot of people. Institutional Planning and Effectiveness Committee, they worked really hard on this report. We just want to acknowledge their contributions to this report. In addition to the IPAC, also Research Office, they conduct the evaluations and assessments of the plan. A lot of data and assessments go into this report as well, and so we want to acknowledge the Research Office contributions. As I mentioned, so normally we have one single report, that's the annual report. So this cycle, end of the cycle, so we're adding end of cycle report. So we're going to cover them both today. So what's in these reports? So we have 3 parts. The first part talks about the updates on the actions completed annually, in this case from fall 24 to spring 25, and also related to each objective within the planning cycle from 2021 to 2025. The second part includes the analysis of achieving our making the movement toward achieving our goals. And the third one is the end of cycle assessment results summary. So we have the status of each objective actions identified. So the number 1 is completed, number 2 eliminated, and number 3 ongoing. Ongoing is really interesting. So it is completed plus, we call it. So the action is, our objective is completed and institutionalized. It's an ongoing basis. So it's an advanced level status. So this is a template we use for the assessment of district objectives and the progress updates. So I'm just going to highlight a couple of the objectives and actions today. So again, objective 1, you'll see this was about increasing our FTS. So we had 4 action items under this objective. All the actions, district made progress on all the actions, and then all actions are ongoing. So in terms of the evaluation of these, So we have increased last year alone 7.3% compared to prior year. And the end of cycle, so we have increased 18.6%. So we have exceeded the target that has been set. The second area is the course success. So in this case, so we were focusing on our degrees and certificates. All the actions were completed in here. Just want to double check something. Yeah, all the actions are completed and ongoing. In terms of the evaluation of these, again, last year alone, we had 14% increase. And then the end of cycle, 28.5% increase. Again, we have exceeded the goal, the objective we have set. So goal area is about our equity. So we have 4 actions under this area. All actions have been completed and ongoing, except for one action, that's 3.11. That was completed. It's not ongoing. It was a one-time action. So in terms of assessments, so we had 23 student groups to analyze. Out of these, so we identified the ones listed over here. So we tracked their progress over the year based on their cohort years. It's kind of small, but you'll see some scripts in there for each of these groups. So when we compare the year 4 cohort, so you'll see our male and AAC students, the SBS students, they have met or exceeded our targets. So we have those were marked with number 3. So you'll see our foster youth and LGBT students. They made good progress, but not achieved the target. The remaining groups, they need additional improvements. So the 4th area is sustainability. On this one, we had a single action that is completed and ongoing. So under this, so I'm just going to highlight our professional development practices. So district offers a lot of opportunities for our employees for professional development, such as workshops and trainings. Last year alone, we had over 1,200 participants taking advantage of 100+ opportunities. In terms of 4-year summary, the end of cycle summary, we had nearly 5,000 participants participated in over 390 opportunities. These are, again, duplicated counts. It's a lot of opportunities. A lot of employees are taking advantage of these opportunities. So to summarize all these actions, so this is from last year. So as of last year, we had actually 3 under Goal 2, we had 3 still in progress, not completed. And then under Goal 3, Equity, we had 1 incomplete. So totally we had 36 either completed or institutionalized. So 4 were still ongoing, still incomplete. So here's the summary for this year and end of cycle. District has actually either completed or institutionalized all the actions except for 1. which is under Goal 2 Success, Action 2.31. That was not completed, so that is related to ESL. There is still some work going on in that area. So what's next? Again, this, as of today, this evening, our master plan 2015-2025 master plan no longer in use. Same thing for our strategic plan. So we do have, as you all remember, a new master plan, our new master plan 2025-2035. It also has 4 goals similar to what we had from the previous master plan. Again, quickly, goal 1 is growth. Our growth with an emphasis on our underserved populations. Goal 2, student success, again, for, paying attention to achievement gaps. Goal 3 is respond, paying attention to equitable academic offerings and support services. And goal 4 is similar to what we had under sustainability, is continuous improvement. So all these documents, they're available on our institutional planning website, available to public, can be downloaded. And thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much. Any questions on today's presentation?
Dolly, I know that Sequoia's has done quite nicely in the growth area, you know, ever since COVID. I know that California has kind of lagged behind. California overall has lagged behind. Are we seeing any sort of improvement with regards to the whole state, or do we even know?
Yeah, it depends on the region. Some regions, they're still suffering. So some colleges, they're making progress, like we are. But I think overall, I think the state-wise is still growing. It may not be as large as ours,
Yeah.
due to, I think, mostly urban areas. They are having a hard time catching up with their enrollments. So that's my observation.
Yeah. Would it be fair to say that the San Joaquin Valley maybe has done better than the urban centers of California?
Relatively, I would say yes.
I know the Vice President Perez monitors these things as well, and Ron and I look at that quite a bit. Ron, would you say that probably half of the 115 community colleges are probably at or above their pre-COVID, and the other half are maybe struggling to get there?
Maybe a little better, but currently there's like 17 school districts, community college districts are in full armas, meaning they haven't reached their pre-pandemic numbers.
Yeah.
So they're not getting cold, so that's a big one. They're not getting cold.
And that's 17 districts, which could represent 30 or more colleges. So it's a mixed bag. It really is. I would say we're probably in the top 10% in terms of where we're at now versus where we were pre-COVID.
Any additional questions?
Question is just a comment. I sincerely appreciate your brevity and was impressed on the detail of the presentation. It's pretty clear that over a 5-year period, very much has been accomplished, and I appreciate you putting in a forum where we can digest and appreciate that.
He's saying he wants you to
Reflecting
continue
out all
presenting and
the
not me. You're hired.
Nice thing.
Yeah, Brent came in only half an hour, but I had to cut it to 10 minutes.
I was going to say, I appreciate how fast you got through it. So.
Another shot at me, geez. I could have stayed home and been treated like this.
Thank you all.
Thank you very much for your presentation.
Good job, Dolly.
Now moving on to the item 10 consent calendar. All items listed on the consent calendar are considered routine and will be enacted by one motion. An item may be removed from the consent calendar at the request of any member of the Board of Trustees or any person in the audience, and considered as separate agenda items. minutes of the previous meeting, personnel report, payment of bills, 2025, 2026 working budget approval, and curriculum new, modified, and deleted.
Pull item 3, please.
Okay, item 3. Any other items? If not, I'll entertain a motion for items 4 through 7.
Second?
I have a motion by trustee Sherman, seconded by trustee Lane. All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries. Now to item 3.
Yeah, no objection, no changes to the minutes. I only pulled it in the event that the absent, or the board members that were absent for that particular meeting, if they would like to abstain, they can, but they're certainly under no obligation to do so. With that, I would move for approval.
And I could second.
It's been motioned by trustee Lane, second by trustee Nunes. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Did you say you wanted to abstain?
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't here, so.
Yeah. And then 1 abstention.
Thank you.
Motion carries. Thank you. Moving on to number 11, action items, board policy, second read, non-resident tuition, extended opportunity programs and services. Dr. Calvin.
Thank you, President Macareno. We've got, as you said, 2 BPs for your review. You saw it first in November, seen it for a second time. BP 5020 is non-resident tuition. And this comes, I believe, straight from our league. Just a little change in the date from February 1st to March 1st of each year. And then down at the bottom, some information on credit, English as a second language courses, and who's eligible to be exempt. That came from our league. And then on that board policy, as well as on 5150, we just, again, at the board's direction, spelled out district as Sequoia's Community College District. Happy to answer any questions you might have about those 2.
I just had one clarification. It wasn't clear in my mind. It does say that if a non-resident that meets certain qualifications, if they meet certain qualifications, they're exempted from the tuition, you know, if they've lived here for less than a year. So I guess my question is if that applies to me and I come in and my second year, does that continue to apply to me? So is it a check the box and you're done forever, or do you assess that maybe at each semester or year?
I'm going to go out on a limb and say if you qualify year 1, then you qualify going forward. And I'm getting a whole lot of head nods.
Is that right? Okay, thank you.
Always nice when you go out on a limb, when you get some head nods.
Right.
And not
That's
people
right.
going back there going like shaking their heads. So,
Yeah.
yes.
At this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve the second reading of the board policies as presented.
So moved.
Second. Oh, go ahead, Connie. Connie,
Motion
second.
by trustee Lane, seconded by trustee Diaz. Any additional discussion? Not all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Moving on now to number 9, board policies, first read. Dr. Calvin.
Thank you, President Macareno. Looking at 3 BPs for the first time, 5035, withholding of student records, BP 5050, Student Success and Support Program, and BP 5400, Student Senate. I think the main change with our existing BPs here is in 5035, withholding of student records. It appears that we cannot hold back grades and transcripts as a result. Am I reading that properly, guys? Yeah, so again, that comes from from our league, which gets taken out of new laws that get passed and so forth. So it doesn't appear like we have that ability to withhold grades and/or transcripts. And then 50/50, 5400 look to be presented as they currently sit. They're just coming up. The last time these were reviewed was back in 2016 or 17, and they just come up for their not annual reviews, but their normal reviews.
The only comment I seem to make all the time for consistency, the first use of or acknowledging the district to be spelled out as Sequoia Community College District. That would be in 50/50 and 5400.
Catch it. You got it.
On 5035, I appreciate your explanation, President Calvin. It just strikes me that with all of the opportunity for costs to be deferred or student aid and all the good things that the foundation provides and so on, it seems interesting to me that if I as a student get to the end and have a financial obligation, it suggests to me that maybe I didn't do my part, right? So to withhold grades, I don't have any, any problem in offering the grades, but no different than me walking into Walmart and grabbing a pen and walking out. I didn't pay for it, so it's not yet mine, right? So, I mean, I'm not asking you to solve that for me. I'm just sort of lamenting the fact that are we setting the right example for our students that you just get whatever you want and then you don't really have to pay for it. I'm still going to give you the prize. So
I don't think you're going to get much argument in this room.
right. Just a public.
We respond to state laws and
Right.
And I think this must have been included in a recent one, and so the league takes that law and kind of summarizes it down to where most community colleges use the same language. So
Yeah.
Believe me, we hear that, especially when we're trying to collect on that. Now, there are other ways that money gets collected eventually, but if we had this as one tool, maybe it would not go to basically a collection agency is what happens statewide. And eventually it does catch up with students through state income tax. If there's a refund, eventually it'll get taken that way. So there's a long arm of the law when it comes to this, but it doesn't help us for several years.
Right.
Yeah.
And to cover the cost of providing the service. Yeah.
It's probably better we don't know how the sausage is getting made.
I'm thinking.
because- Right?
Truly.
At this time, I entertain a motion to approve the first reading of the board policies as presented, or as with the adjustments of the comment made for district, use of district.
I'll make a motion to approve the board policies for first reading, BP 5035, BP 5050, and BP 5400.
And I would second that.
Motion by trustee Diaz, seconded by trustee Nunes. I did want to make a comment to student trustee. In this matter, and the first reading and the second reading, I will ask you for an advisory vote prior to our vote. And you're welcome to do so right now, yay, nay, in regards to this policy.
Like right now?
Or we can hold it for the second reading if you'd like to make any comments or an advisory vote.
We'll do it right now. We'll go for yay.
Okay.
Good choice.
Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Last item.
Okay,
Number 10, public hearing.
yeah, so we're just asking for a renewal of the MOU agreements. These are called CCAP agreements, College and Career Access Pathways agreements that we're required to have with all of our, the schools that we have dual enrollment classes with. So there's 9 classes, or 9 school districts on the list. In the packet, you were provided with the previous agreement as well as the ones that we're wanting to enter into. By ed code, this is supposed to be a public hearing where people can provide input or feedback. So that's the request.
Okay, I will open it up into public hearing. Anyone would like to speak on this matter, please come to the podium. Seeing none, I will now close the public hearing.
Question, Chairman.
Yes.
I presume that each of the districts have had an opportunity to review the draft and made their comments, and you've negotiated back and forth and all that.
Absolutely. They've had all that opportunity, yes.
They're all in support of.
Yes, 100%, yeah.
That's the only question.
So you need a motion to approve, right?
Looking here, does it require, because it's a public hearing, to adopt, so to adopt the attached new college and career access pathways?
I so move.
Motion by trustee Diaz,
Second?
seconded by trustee Sherman. All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries. Well, everyone, I know it's cold outside, but I like to be optimistic, and hopefully it gets you in the mood to have a hot cup of cocoa and gather around with family and watch some holiday movies. So I want to wish everyone to stay warm and enjoy the upcoming holiday season, as well as a Happy New Year. Thank you very much for being here. See you next time.